Hello everyone and welcome back to another part of my F1 23 driver career mode. Today's episode we go to the Belgian Grand Prix, one of my favourite circuits on the calendar, one of many people's favourite circuits on the calendar. Remember, this weekend is also a sprint weekend, so that's going to be exciting to see where we can put it, because obviously it's still using the old sprint format and with qualifying on a Friday as well. If you guys do remember last time out in Silverstone, we had that annoying crash right at the end of the race against Fernando Alonso with that safety car glitch as well. This was so annoying, and hopefully we can get P1 today and repay it a bit. Sainz leads the Drivers' Championship from Perez, Verstappen, and then Leclerc. Verstappen coming off the back of an awful 17th from him after pitting when the safety car came in. Hamilton winning last time in Silverstone in his home race. Albon getting that podium. In the Constructors was still fourth, but Aston Martin came back a bit towards us recently. 885 resource points to spend. Haven't got much to spend it on, if I'm completely honest. So we're going to skip a couple days and get some R&D in. So our tyre upgrade succeeds. That's really good. Our DRS succeeds. So beautiful. We have a marketing department. Verstappen or Leclerc. Leclerc is low down in the championship, but Verstappen is on a worse run of form. But overall, I think Leclerc is just going to be easier for us to beat on track. So next we have the intercooler. Hopefully that succeeds. Yes, it does. Some minor engine power, and then some more resource points up to 1,305. So I'm thinking what to buy here. I think about the Halo probably most likely, since our Aero isn't actually that good. Nothing else really we could buy. We could buy this fuel efficiency, but honestly, I just don't want to. It just doesn't appeal to me as a very good thing to buy. So I decided to buy the Halo. I believe that's a minor rear downforce, so hopefully that can help us. Let's give it more time. The side pods, that succeeds. I believe that's a drag reduction upgrade. And 747 points. That's all I'm going to buy for now, I think. Don't think I'm going to buy anything else. Yeah, I'm not going to buy anything else. Now let's skip ahead to the race weekend, the Belgian Grand Prix. Let's go. As usual, we're going to be doing quick practice, but first we're going to look at the R&D tree. Obviously, I developed we had a lot of upgrades coming in, but we still only the third fastest car. We've gained massively though to Ferrari, but annoyingly they also made an upgrade. Mercedes also make a huge upgrade, so they're a lot close to us. Aston Martin, a minor upgrade. McLaren also big upgrade for them. Haas now still the worst team, and that midfield pack is very tight, but Red Bull still lead. Surprised they haven't been really developing. So let's do quick practice then. And now we've done that, let's head into qualifying. I was a bit hasty there with the quick practice editing it out, but should be fine. And here what I was doing, I was just doing my setup as normal. I don't actually have a Spa setup, so I have to do that. So I forgot that last race we actually had a internal combustion engine issue. It was wearing a bit, and I forgot to put it back in. So I'm gonna have to do that now. It will take 7 minutes, but it should be worth it. I thought about taking other penalties, but decided that it just wouldn't be worth it. We're going to have to be at the front of the field for as much as possible. We've got quite a few engine parts ready from our three failures early on. So we're going to put not the 49% one, the 0% one in. It's going to take 7.5 minutes, so we're going to have to sit that out in the garage, which is going to take a bit of time. But once we've done that, we can hopefully get out. Only one lap we're going to be doing on this tyres. Hulkenberg, Bottas, Sargent, and Piastri are the four drivers currently sitting in the bottom five along with us. This lap's going to be a good one. Good through turn one, quite solid. Now as we head towards Eau Rouge, one of my favourite parts of the track, if not the favourite part, really nice. Just taking it flat out and just really, really good. DRS, it's just really engine power here, so I expect to be really strong in Sector 1, and that's going to have to really help us in the race, because we're not that good in the corners, and I found this a bit during this lap. The car, just like it did feel like in Canada, feels quite loose on the rear end. I'm not sure why. I think it's because we had maybe we had a rear downforce coming into the race, and we haven't had a good front upgrade as well to steady that out. I hope that's the reason, because I believe we've got a front coming in for Monza or maybe Qatar. But this lap overall, it could have been better, but it's quite a solid lap. I think it should be good enough to get us through into Q2 nice and easily. 5/10 up on Piastri's time. And this is really just, I feel like getting the best engine on the grid is quite crucial. So if you guys are going to do an F123, my team or driver, the best engine is quite necessary. But now really, because we've got the best engine, I'm going to have to focus on the aero. And this lap, overall, pretty solid. And it's going to be a 1:44.0, pretty much flat. And that's going to put us into P8, 6/10 off pole. But that should be good enough to get us through into Q2, which it is. Perez topping the session. Norris again in the McLaren, showing pace in Q1. See what he has in Q2 and Q3. Sargent, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, and Stroll in the Aston Martin, quite surprising. Although Stroll's form is quite patchy on this game, I believe. And Piastri, quite disappointing for him considering his teammates up in P4. But let's head into Q2. Hopefully we can both of us into Q3 again. And let's see, first lap then. I believe this is on a used set of tyres, I think. Obviously this weekend's a sprint weekend, so we do get less tyres given to us for qualifying. And there you go. I don't know if you noticed there, but I had a bit of a snap in between the bus stop chicane. Hopefully we can set a decent lap here. Nice again through turn one. I like taking the really inside line there. And then focus on just getting the power down rather than going on the outside. Up through Eau Rouge. Flower once again. DRS. Pedal to the metal, as Crofty says at the start of like half the sprints. And I feel like these corners are really those corners there in between the end of the start of sector 2 and the end if you get them right, they're really nice, but if you don't, then it's just a bit harder. 1:44.2, that's 2/10, almost 3/10 slower than our previous lap, so we're gonna have to go again. P11 for us. So we're going again then. This time on a set of new tyres. We're going to have to find some time here because we're out otherwise. Perez also in P10 on the cusp. That's going to be exciting. I take a bit of a wider line here. Actually turns out that the wider line does actually gain you a bit of time. As once again through Eau Rouge, taking it flat out. And we gained quite a substantial bit of time. We're a 10th up at the end of sector 1. the others crossing the line now. I think the other crossing line. So purple in the second, in the first sector. We head through sector 2. We take it much better, much more wider line. Really pushing. 5/10 up. Nice brake downhill. Turn in. Feather the throttle. Now go. Flat out. Clip the apex. Nice push. With 5/10 up, lose a bit of time there. Maybe on the exit. Brake. Turn in. Maybe downshift. That would probably have been smarter. Everyone else has crossed the line. Sergio Perez still P10. So it's us or Perez here, and I think we have a much better opportunity to get through into Q3. Perez might be out. There's something F123 do right. 7/10 up. Perez looks like he's out, just like he was in real life all the time. We're 1 second up as we go through this flat out section. It says on the rating line it shouldn't be, but I really think it should, because I can take it flat out quite easily. Us or Perez, as the ones we don't throw it away in the final corner, we should be nicely through. Going to go up to the line, 1.2 seconds gained, and that's good enough for us to shoot up into provisional pole. Good, what a lap from us there. That was something special, I think. So Tsunoda also through into Q3. P6. Perez out. That's the big name that's fallen here. Gasly also out. Alexander Albon. Zhou Guanyu and I believe Valtteri Bottas is also out. Lando Norris in the McLaren, showing that it isn't just Q1 for the first time in a while, but because he's made it through into Q3 with some decent pace as well. P5. We're just ahead of Leclerc in provisional pole. But Perez, disappointing for him. Sure, Christian Horner will be having a couple of words with him, but both Mercedes through, both AlphaTauris through. It's going to be a spicy Q3, that's for sure, with both Ferraris through as well. A McLaren and an Alpine as well too. So, first lap in Q3, we've only got one lap in Q3, and that's going to be it, a 1:42.9. That's only enough for P3, so Leclerc and Ferrari and Sainz, front row lockout. So no P4, us P5. That was a very quick Q3, my apologies. But Leclerc, what a lap from him. 7/10 fast enough. In the 1:41.6s. That's really, really impressive lap from him. A 1:42.4 for Carlos Sainz, just ahead of Max Verstappen in third, who's also set at 1:42.4. With Tsunoda and me on the second and third row respectively. Leclerc takes an initial advantage in the sprint, in the rivalry. Sorry. Next we've got the sprint, so we've done the other quick practice. But first, a bit of R&D to spend. I'm thinking here we're going to go for this drag reduction, this major drag reduction. It's going to be difficult to get it on time for Monza because we're going to have to rush it. Then there's also this major weight reduction, and our chassis could do with work as well. So I'm going to purchase the weight reduction in the end. And also, actually no, I was thinking a long time here, but I decided to not, just to leave it as it is and head to the sprint with 989 R&D points still to have it in our pocket for next time we get some more weekly resource points. So let's head to the sprint.
Forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Tsunoda, and Alpha Tauri, Hamilton, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Ocon, Perez, Gasly, Albon, Joe, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, and Logan Sargent. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
Crofty's gone mute again, it looks like, but we're going to be starting on the softs. It doesn't seem like we get an option if we can start on mediums. Don't think I would have anyway. So, first of all, formation lap. Tsunoda and Verstappen both on mediums. I believe everyone else is on soft. So that's going to be really interesting to see how those tyres perform on this circuit and as a candidate for tomorrow. So we need to warm up these tyres as normal. Ferrari front row lockout. We're going to see if Sainz can take advantage of that and extend his lead on Sergio Perez, who's down in P11. That's not good for his championship fight at all. Can Verstappen help out his teammate? So we line up to the grid now. We will need a good launch if we want to get close to that win, which I can see Leclerc just ahead. 0.4, very solid. Hopefully we can keep the Mercedes behind us, both of us. But first and foremost, before we even get to the race, we've got this 5-lap sprint to go here at Spa-Francorchamps. It's the Belgian Grand Prix sprint. And it's underway, lights out, and away we go. Tsunoda gets a fantastic reaction time, but on the mediums he just bogs down, gets a bit of wheel spin. We go past Verstappen, who's not had the best start at all, and go down the inside of Carlos Sainz into neutral gear there to try and slow the car down. From P5 we're already up to P2. Tsunoda has also overtaken Verstappen as we head towards Eau Rouge. Leclerc 7/10 up the road though already. Maybe the win for the sprint is a bit far away here, but we'll need this for his rivalry, as long as we can look ahead rather than behind. Tsunoda overtaking Verstappen comfortably and could be thinking about a move on Sainz here as we head towards the chicane. And now by lap 2, Leclerc 2.7 seconds up the road, and we go deep, we go very deep. This is not going to help us whatsoever. As now Tsunoda, who has also overtaken Sainz, I might add, on the mediums. Very, very impressive by him. He's right on our tail, 5/10 back, with tyres that will eventually come to him, possibly come the end of the race. But this is going to be difficult to keep my teammate behind me. He's shown some great pace in these last couple of races. And here he goes, down the inside. We're going to brake later, but we go deep. We go very deep. Tsunoda... we now have the inside though. Tsunoda though will have the inside for this line. He barges into us. We're going to have to brake late, go round the outside. He's still there. That was I've never heard that message from Mark. Comment down below if you've heard that message from Mark before when you're fighting with your teammate. But we want to get back to Tsunoda once. We take this flat out. I think Tsunoda might have had a bit of a lift off there. We've got a bit more overspeed. We can go down the outside and overtake Tsunoda. We force him so wide, a bit of frustration to vent our feelings, that Sainz goes through and he's up into P3 and he's going to go to P2. If he can round the outside, we're not having none of that. And funnily enough, Tsunoda could be overtaken by Verstappen again. As we head up through Eau Rouge, Sainz will have DRS on us now. And can he gain on us? I believe our engine power here is really going to help us on the straight, in the race as well. And we're just going to have to push here and try and stay away from the Sainz and Tsunoda and Verstappen. Well, Verstappen now has just overtaken Tsunoda, and an Alpine is in the pits. Not sure who that is, but they're cleaning the pits. And Leclerc 6 seconds up the road, 7 seconds come lap 4, almost 8. As we have just pulled away from Sainz here, which is, just really helped us on these soft tyres. I believe he had a bit of fighting with Tsunoda and Verstappen to do, which really helped us. On lap 5, last lap, not much action really in the sprint from our perspective. Leclerc wins by 10 seconds. He'd gone and dominated this one. But Tsunoda has overtaken Verstappen, and Hamilton has overtaken Sainz. So Sainz dropped down the order. They do catch up to us towards the end of the mediums, but it's going to be too little, too late. We're going to come home for a very, very respectable P2. I'm pretty sure too, Mark. I'm pretty sure too. Just want to say here, does anyone actually bother with the podium pass? Do they actually look how close they are? Sainz drops down to P8 then in the end, so only gains 1 point out of a possible 7 he could have got if he had overtaken us. So 13 points for the team though, that's really, really solid. Alonso only 2. Norris dropped down, and Perez gained 1 position, which I'm quite surprised at. He only gained 1. In the standings, we're still P7, close up a bit to Russell and Hamilton. Tsunoda also gains a bit to Alonso. I'm not sure if he'll be overtaken before the end of the season. I'll do the maths, see if I can do the maths next time, if the championship is still actually mathematically possible. I expect it is mathematically, but I doubt we'll actually get it. But first, let's head straight to the race, the Grand Prix.
Welcome then, as we take a step back into the nostalgic golden days of motorsport. Spa is unashamedly a throwback, and all the better for it. Climbs, drops, sharp turns, chicanes, sweeping high-speed corners, all while taking in some of the most beautiful scenery that Europe has to offer. This might sound like a travel brochure, but it's not. It's a race day. Welcome along to Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track's a great one for fans of pure speed, and the average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles per hour. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and an Alpha Tauri alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Norris, Perez, Ocon, Albon, Magnussen, Stroll, Sargent, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Bottas, Joe, and Oscar Piastri. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Up with me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Why don't we kick off by discussing Max Verstappen? That was a great win in the last race, but can they keep that momentum going into this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
So then,
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
P2 then, Leclerc right ahead of us. Well, I'm thinking about the strategy here, and I'm going to do a medium soft. It seems faster. The game says soft medium's faster, but I think the medium soft might just be a pass, especially as everyone else around us on the mediums or hards. Leclerc starting on the hards, Tsunoda on the mediums, along with Verstappen and Hamilton. The mediums looked quite good yesterday, so we're going to be starting on the mediums then. Let's start the formation lap. Leclerc on the mediums, on the hards ahead of us. We always get anti-stall on the formation lap. I don't know why. I just do that, but I don't want to bog down either, Mark. But Leclerc on the hard, it's a very brave decision from him, considering the rest of the pack is on a softer compound tyre than him. Let's see how he fares. So we line up to the grid. Leclerc takes a while to get onto his grid spot. Get over there, mate. 0.5, that'll do. 5 red lights then ahead of us for the Belgian Grand Prix, the main event, the feature race. It's lights out and away we go. Leclerc gets a much better start than us, but we once again, just like yesterday, he gets a bit of wheel spin. As into turn 1 we go, we can try round the outside. Leclerc on the inside defends, but we get a much better exit. Look at that acceleration. And we're up into P1. Great start from us on the medium tyres, a softer compound really helping us out. So as we head through Eau Rouge, Leclerc right on our tail. Is he going to try and overtake us for P1? He's going to go for it. Takes a bit more slipstream. He's going to go for the move on the outside. We're going to have to defend to the inside, which we do. Hamilton thinks about the move on the inside. Gets compromised. Verstappen looks like he's going to go for the move now. On Hamilton in turn. Tsunoda lost positions down into P5 from a very solid P3 yesterday in the sprint. But we lead away at the end of Sector 1 into Sector 2. That's exactly what we wanted. Now we need to use this extra tyre grip to pull away from Leclerc, from Hamilton, from Verstappen. But by lap 3, we haven't pulled away, and Hamilton and Verstappen have both overtaken Leclerc. It did take them long, and here comes Lewis Hamilton for the lead of the race. I'm not having that. We're going to defend to the inside, but we go wide. Hamilton switchbacks us. And now we're going 3 wide with Hamilton and Verstappen on the inside. We came collision. I'm not sure where, but we must have made one, but we do keep the position. And now Hamilton and Verstappen are going wheel to wheel. That gives me flashbacks of 2021. But I'm sure it gives all of us, and I'm sure that's what everyone would normally say. Maybe I should just say Hamilton Verstappen 2.0, but Hamilton comes out on top this time. And he does have DRS to gain on us, but right now, no one's really tried to make a move on me since Leclerc tried to overtake us on this main straight because our engine is just too strong. I mean, look at Hamilton's barely gaining with DRS. He was about 5/10 back at the start of the straight. He closed up by 4/10 to us, and usually on such a long straight, you close up by a lot longer. But once again, he gets great traction as we start Sector 3. On the inside this time, we're on the outside. We hold it just, but then we keep on the track, but then drive off the track, which isn't very good. But we do keep the position. As now Hamilton, as we force Hamilton so wide that Verstappen goes for the move. Then we want Hamilton to stay ahead, as Verstappen's in a much quicker Red Bull than Hamilton's Mercedes. But it happens what happens. So we give them a bit of slipstream. And on lap 5, Hamilton really putting pressure on us as we go through, and we get I can't get any words out. And Verstappen's now overtaking Hamilton, and we go deep. We go deep, just like we did yesterday in the sprint with Tsunoda. As we just stay ahead. This time it doesn't carry on as long as it did with Yuki, but still, Verstappen thinks about a move there. That's not good. He gets immediately overtaken by Russell. It's exactly not what I want. And I'll say this because I've already watched all this. Tsunoda ends up, and I don't actually end up showing this, but Tsunoda pits this lap off the mediums, which I thought was really early, and then he ends up coming out as well, so he doesn't not retire. But anyway, lap 6, Verstappen putting pressure on us. So we take too much curb. We've taken too much curb. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, we've been hit. We've been hit by Leclerc. We've been spun around. Oh, Alonso! Alonso's gone into him. There's a red flag. Sainz also gone into him. Oh my word! We just took too much curb, spun it. Verstappen and Hamilton avoided us, but not so good for Leclerc. And that's a red flag. Oh my gosh! Then Leclerc spun us round then, and then he got slowed down himself. We're going to stay on the softs for the restart. But then Alonso ran into him, and then Sainz ran into Alonso. We've got a 5-second penalty. Alonso's got a 5-second penalty. We're going to have to go on the softs here to try and to try and make it back, but to try and make it back that time. But here we go, lights out and away we go for the second time, and Verstappen gets really bogged down at the start. Russell makes it initially Mercedes 1-2, but we're going to go back down the inside of Lewis Hamilton for the lead of the race. We're not having any of that. We get very caught up. Hamilton goes for the switchback. Russell on the outside. Can he try and get it? No. So now here we go through a rouge. We gain on Hamilton. Our engine really helping us out here. With using ERS, taking a lot of slipstream. Hamilton goes defensive to the inside. We're going to go to the outside. And can we pass Hamilton for the lead of the race here? He's on the hard tyres. I guess he couldn't have really gone on to anything other than that. We've gone on to the soft, very aggressive. And we overtake Lewis for the lead of the race. But now we're going to have to put a 5-second gap. And we do have pulled away from Russell. But only by 1.5 seconds, I believe. We'll be in P6 at the moment. If the race ended now. But I believe through these corners, the tyres now starting to wear as they did in the sprint yesterday. They're starting to wear, not long-lasting, these soft tyres, and we're going to lose so much time. I mean, 2/10 there. We go off track, but another 2/10 gone. We're just losing so much time. I'm not sure why. For the rest of this race, by the way, I do stay away from this curb. I don't want to spin again. But now 1.1 seconds. It was 1.5 at the end of Sector 1. It's now 1 second. I have no idea where all this time we're losing is from. But we are lapping 2 seconds a lap slower than our best time. It's now 9/10. And now we're within DRS. And we've lost so much time to Alonso as well. So I believe now it's P7 or P8 if we come out. But that's not helpful. But now Russell is going to be right on our tail. He's going to have DRS on us. We take way too much curb there. Now everyone else is caught up to him as well. No tyre concerns, Mark. We're very struggling here. Really struggling here. Is now Russell can go for the move on the inside. We're going to try and hang it around the outside and go off track. Come back on. Just went a bit deep and now... But we do stay ahead of the Mercedes. They're getting so much better traction than me off that corner. But Hamilton, Verstappen, and now Sergio Perez have caught up as we start the last lap of the race. Not much really shown in the previous laps. Not much really happened. But we start the last lap. This is going to be a crucial lap. We're going to have to push as much as we can. Perez also on the soft tyres, I want to add. And he seems to have overtaken Sainz, who probably has some sort of damage after the red flag and started from quite far down. I'm not sure if he DNF'd or not. As now Russell, he's not going to go for the move or us into on the end of Radion, but he still might have an opportunity. And the tyre wear icon has come up. That means you have 60% or above tyre wears. So if we get a puncture now, that'd be just so frustrating. We shouldn't though, really. We're on the last lap. Yep, 61% on the front left. Only 49% on the rear right. But Russell, it looks like for us it's going to be P1 on the road, but unfortunately P7 or 8, maybe even 9 after a penalty's been applied. But we don't get great traction off of here on these old tyres. We actually do go off the track, really struggling here. And here comes Russell. He's not giving up this win just yet. He's going to go for the move on the inside. Hamilton tries to follow him through. We're not letting that happen. And we're going to try and re-overtake Russell. Go to the left, go to the right. Russell placed his car really well, but we're going to dive back down the inside. I don't care if we lose maybe a place here. We're going to need... I want to finish P1 and just say I finished P1. And we do finish P1 and Hamilton ends up claiming the win, I believe, after we compromise Russell so much.
But they've done so in spectacular style. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today? I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. It just looks so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks. After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. let's have a quick look at how the driver standings have changed. This result then narrows the gap between our championship leader and the rest of the standings. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Well, for me, it's got to be Lewis Hamilton. The multiple world champion may be the boring choice at this point, but you can't argue that he's a driver deserving of his reputation.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. And Red Bull take over as championship leaders. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So then, P4 for us overall, but I believe we owned, P8 for us. I'm not sure why we were standing on the podium. That shouldn't really have been us. Sonoda pointless, unfortunately. Sainz only 1 point, so that's not going to help him in his pursuit of the championship. Only 10. Oh, sorry. No, yeah, Sainz 10 points, whilst Perez is 12. So it says we finished second, but we didn't get the points for second, and we didn't finish second overall. I don't think. I think we finished around 8th. We got the fastest lap though, so that counts an extra point. That's another reason why it was smart going on the soft tyres. I'm not sure why it says +1 lap. It's just a bit glitched. I'm not sure, but all the results are the same. I think Hamilton wins from Russell. Then I believe Perez is in third. Then Verstappen in fourth. No, Sainz in. No, I think Verstappen's third. Perez fourth. Sainz fifth. But anyway, Sainz only 4 points leading now. Hamilton goes to get back-to-back victories from Silverstone to Spa, and has overtaken Leclerc in the championship. So that's going to be interesting. But that's really unfortunate for us, that 5-second penalty. Thing is, we had spun around, and that was my mistake. But Leclerc did crash into us. He could have avoided us, I reckon. So I'm not sure if that 5-second penalty was duly awarded. I think maybe both of us, or racing incidents, we just made a mistake. But yeah, 420 more resource points. I quickly check here if the standings are as they should be, and they are. We do finish P8 and get the fastest lap, so that's really all that matters for us as we head into Monza next time. And if you have enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe. It does help out so much and to support the series. And I'll see you guys next time for the Italian Grand Prix circuit, which I hope we will be really strong at based on our engine. Goodbye.